In an effort to continue our variety of programming, Nancy and I have come up with a brand new show that we really hope that you will all enjoy, and we are going to call it Exercising with Mary. Give me one moment and I'm going to go and get our exercise tool that we will be featuring with today's program. After months of being up on our Square Bluff studio, we are going to go and clean Nancy's horse barn. Scoop, 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 scoop. Scoop, 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 scoop. Wait a minute, Nancy. What's going on?
Well, let's see. I think a lot of our fan base and viewers, they probably don't have a pitchfork.
But I know where they can get them.
But you know what that'll mean? That'll mean a rush on pitchforks.
And you won't be able to find a pitchfork throughout Wisconsin.
No, they'll be gone.
They will be gone.
So maybe we just ought to rethink this a little bit.
Okay, I think so. And what are we going to think about?
Well, it's a beautiful spring day. It's actually Mother's Day.
It is Mom's Day.
So we thought maybe we would go do another
Name That Road.
And we've got one that's going to be a toughie because some of our viewers are just way too good at figuring these things out.
We've got to raise the bar. We've got to make this harder. So our clues are going to be a little more vague, but we're going to enjoy a nice road trip.
And don't stick that into my foot.
Oh, that was kind of close. Well, after all, you did run me over not that long ago.
Right. I guess I got it coming.
Payback! Payback!
Ride? Yes. Oh boy.
Guess who gets to go for a road trip? Zip! Yeehaw! You know, she always wants to drive. We don't ever let her. I think she's nearsighted.
And we always have to do the disclaimer here, Mary, that if our viewers are hearing panting,
oh, yeah.
that's not you and me. That's the dog. Okay?
No, we have very healthy lungs. Our health is good for both of us.
Yes, we're not usually panting anyway.
But Zip is super excited to get to go for a little road trip on this beautiful spring morning.
And I'm sure she's hoping that we're going to see some wildlife.
Wildlife, maybe even a sheep or two.
Or sheep. She likes sheep.
Maybe a llama.
Or llamas, yeah.
Llamas are more exciting yet.
One of these days, she's going to get close to one of those llamas and she's going to figure out what they are.
She did pretty good, though, staying close to you when we went out and were looking for the base of the temperance hole.
Oh, yeah, she doesn't run off. She's good. Collies are pretty good about sticking close.
Yeah, they're good girl.
All right, Mary, here we are on our Name That Road for today, and we are turning onto a state highway, And we're going to go down here about a mile, and then we're going to take a right onto a town road that leads us to our road. And we're just going to give you a quick hint, and that is that we are kind of in the middle of the county. That narrows it down. This is going to be a tough one, people.
Now, are you going to give like any other, kind of information, like
Yes.
maybe a township?
We are in the town of Preston. So, I'm going to be taking a turn up here.
On the right.
Okay, we took a right off the state highway, and right now we are on another town road that is going to take us to our designated road today. And this direction that we're going right now would be kind of south, but in a country where the roads don't exactly run straight all the time, maybe the directions aren't really important.
And we've got a really nice, kind of looks like it's already been planted to cornfield.
Oh, everybody is out there just farming away these days, aren't they?
They're giving her. It's that time of the year.
It is. You can't sit in the house when you should be out on the tractor.
That's right.
So, lovely day here, and you and I and Zip, we're going to go up here a little bit, and then we're going to get on our road, and it's going to be an adventure, I promise. And the road goes through. It does not end up in a swamp. We always promise that we're going to pick out a road that does eventually run through into another road. It does not dead end. Our promise.
We promise no dead ends.
Yep. All right, folks, we are getting ready to turn right. We're going down off this town road that went up on a ridge, and we're going down to the right. So, you start paying attention real close here so you think you can figure out what this road is. Town of Preston.
Like that. And there we go. We saw the road, no sign. And this is our right-hand turn.
Here we go.
We better bring the camera in, because otherwise you'll hear the wind. We're using both mics. We've got a different camera today.
And
Oh,
this road is not paved.
uh-oh. We are going into the backwoods now.
So, if you are coming out here and wanting to drive this road, and after a big rain, you better bring your big four-wheel drive, fully equipped truck.
This road does have a little bit of texture.
Yes, it does.
Look at that. And of course, it looks like a quiet road, so maybe you could stop for one moment, Nancy. And we're going to show a picture. We're not going to say what this is, because I think our viewing audience is starting to learn what these are. Dun, 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 dun. This is a nice one.
It's a small one.
It's a small one, but
Yeah.
it really's got some good color to it.
bad.
Yep, there we go. And back in the car.
And there's a lot of color this year. Everything is starting to bloom, and the
Green
oak
up.
trees are getting their leaves. It's just really pretty.
Now, Nancy, do you know the saying about the oak trees and corn planting?
I've heard that when the oak leaves are the size of a squirrel's ear, you're supposed to plant. Is that true?
I think so, but with today's chemicals and fungicides, they plant a lot earlier.
Oh.
And so I know a lot of organic farmers wait until the soil's nice and warm.
So you wonder if people run out and trap a squirrel and
Measure?
keep it in the backyard and keep checking the ears.
That'd be something. Okay, keep an eye out.
Okay, George. The ears today.
Catch that squirrel! Put on your gloves or he's gonna bite you. He's hateful. Hey, and then they could have squirrel dinner.
I suppose they could. Yeah.
Oh, this is a nice drive. Looks like there's been a little bit of logging done back here.
Yeah.
And, we see those beautiful, beautiful cherry blossoms right over here.
You bet.
of course, by the time people come through here, that beautiful event will have passed. We don't get those blossoms all year long, do we?
No.
No.
That makes us appreciate them a lot more, right?
I think so. This is pretty. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice drive. And again, Nancy, I don't think this is one I've ever been on.
Probably not. I don't think this road gets a huge amount of travel, you know?
Wow. Do you think because it looks like they're doing some maintenance on it, do you think it's like in the process of getting fixed, or?
Well, this is about as good as it usually gets.
Oh, okay. So this is really one of those off the beaten path roads.
Well, it is. There is, like I say, there is not a lot of traffic on this road. So if you want to drive slow and enjoy the scenery, you probably won't have to worry about anyone creeping up on your bumper.
And that's good, because people have been doing that a lot lately, and it's kind of disconcerting.
Oh, yes.
It's hard to drive on the highway when somebody's up against your back license plate.
Yeah. You know, it's downright stupid in this county where you never know when you're going to have a deer running out in front of you.
Well, and the other day I saw a turkey on the road too, and it was like, wow, that would be like hitting a bag of wet cement.
You don't want to hit a turkey. I saw somebody ahead of me one time hit a turkey, and their entire windshield was shattered.
Wow.
Just in pieces, and that was a turkey.
Now, one thing, Nancy, I want you to kind of slow down. I'm going to open up the window, and hopefully we're not going to get a lot of car noise, but I'm just baffled. Down here is a wetland, okay? And, you know, we've heard on the, you can keep driving because I think this opens up a little bit more. This is supposed to be a wetland. It's got the wetland characteristics, but there's no water. And, you know, everybody says, and you listen to it on the news, that, you know, hey, we are only a couple inches shy of rainfall total, but our wetlands are super, super dry.
Yeah.
Because we had no snow.
Very little. That's
And
true.
8 inches of snow is only, it's like 0.8 of an inch of rain for 6 months.
Oh, there's some marsh marigolds. See them?
Oh, look at them. Aren't they pretty?
Yeah.
But
and
there's
a butterfly. Look, there's a
Oh.
butterfly.
And you know, we've got to kind of think long and hard about some of our beautiful things that we're losing because of some of the overuse of chemicals.
Now, here's an entry.
This is a clue.
Yes.
We have a clue. And we're going to put 2 signs we've got private land sign, and we've got a state wildlife area sign.
Because when we came down off the hill, that was actually private land.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that
now
makes
it's
sense.
state land.
Now, this is a place I think you can go hike and do food gathering. Oh, look at that beautiful cherry tree, Nancy.
If you like hiking through swamps, this is the perfect spot.
Oh, is this all bottom?
Well, yeah, most of it is.
It's all bottom. See, Nancy does the research. I'm just the talent behind the camera.
I had come down this road.
Oh, you pre-drove it. Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well, at least I know for sure that you're not going to run us down a dead end.
Nope.
One of the roads I was looking at that I wanted to do. Ooh, this is a cool picture right here.
And look at the bus.
Oh,
It's a swallowtail.
swallowtail. And we've got this big on camera. Where did he go? We're looking for our swallowtail. I don't know where he went. But look at how this tree is just barely kind of hanging in there
Yeah.
off the edge of that. You know, sooner or later that baby's gonna drop. Right?
Well, you get a big rain,
Oh, yeah.
and things start sloughing.
There you go.
Nature's way. We didn't catch it on film, I guess, but there was a swallowtail butterfly. And
Yes.
they're beautiful, big butterflies.
And you know, I often wonder, he's probably headed towards that marsh plant.
Well, there's one too.
Oh, look
I'm
at
not trying to run her over.
Okay, we would have to. We're practicing with the camera with a new device that we have deemed the Crusher.
Yeah, it's not comfortable.
No, but it really helps me not be jiggly behind the camera when we're driving.
Right, yeah.
And so, but it's kind of long and a little bit awkward. So hopefully we'll be graced with a swallowtail present. So I think we are actually driving through the wildlife area, right?
Yes, I think on both sides.
Okay. And so that's why it's so nice and peaceful.
After we reveal this, we'll come back up here a little ways and we'll talk a little bit about this area because it's kind of got an interesting story to it.
Story and history?
Yep.
Yeah. This is all, but look at how dry it is.
Yeah. You'd think it'd be green this time of year, and it really isn't.
No, it's still kind of trying to perk up. And a lot of those water plants need a lot of water, Nancy.
Yes, they do. There's a lot of life down in that swamp.
Oh, but what a beautiful view.
Now here we've got a little creek. Is there any water in it?
Oh, there's some water in it, but you can see along the banks where the water's way down. A couple inches, yeah. Oh, Zip, sure, she's looking. Oh, she likes water, doesn't she?
No, and she likes to chase birds too.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's right.
There were some red-winged blackbirds back there.
Oh, and it looks like up here they may have done something with like a controlled forestry cut. Because this looks like this is all young growth.
It's coming back.
And you know there's a lot of birds that like that young growth.
I suppose.
Like the woodcock. They like young forest. And so does the grouse.
Yeah.
They like young forest. Deer like to hide and eat in young forest. And not saying that we've got a shortage of deer, right?
I don't anyway at my place. I don't think you do either, do you?
No. My one and only beautiful tulip became snack food.
Yeah, deer love tulips.
Yes,
Don't they?
I think they must taste, they must be like the honey plant of the flower species in spring. That, and they always like to clip off my daffodils.
It's funny. Well, it's not funny. There was something on Facebook where this lady said she had gone to the garden store and spent $131 on plants and put them in, and she came out the next morning and they'd all been nipped off by the deer. And she said, "What can I do?" And so I printed in, "Get a dog." I thought if it wasn't for Zip, I wouldn't have anything up there.
She keeps the deer away?
She keeps the deer away. She's very good at that.
She's protecting the perimeter.
She has her perimeters, yes.
That is awesome. We knew she was multi-talented, didn't we?
Yes. And sometimes I think that, maybe just the dog being there, they must leave a smell. And I'm sure the deer, smell it. Well, there's a dog on the property too.
Well, and dogs are predators,
Yeah, they are.
And predators, I'm sure there's in the nature world. Isn't that pretty out there?
Yeah.
And you can hear the birds. This is a nice place to take a Sunday drive, Nancy.
Here on Mother's Day. Huh?
On Mother's Day weekend, yes.
Why not?
Look at that. And so many people think the Vista Views are the best in Trempealeau County.
Being up on a hill.
Being up on the very tip top of a hill. But we have beautiful valleys too. And seeing a valley from the bottom up. Oh, there's our oaks. Do we got oak leaves?
These are white oaks.
They're, I think, a little. Oh, they're starting.
Yeah.
They're starting.
They're like the last practically to leaf out, and then in the fall they're about the last to drop their leaves too.
Yes. And this is cool. If you come here in the summertime, there's going to be a lane for you to drive through. A little bit of a tree tunnel.
Yeah, a canopy.
A canopy.
All right, what is this in front of me? It must be a chipmunk.
Yeah, we got some wildlife. Oh, Zip saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, little red squirrel. Those little buggers are tough. They got sharp little teeth.
Oh, yes, they are.
Oh, this is a nice drive. Oh, this is going to be quite canopied during the summertime.
Yes.
A few nice patches
So
to
people
go
that
through.
want to get in their car and come out here for a drive after we reveal it, you can know to where it is.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you this. The other day I got a snapping turtle on my B-roll camera.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
where was it? On your back porch?
It was, I think it was looking for water. He came out of our dry stream bed.
Oh, no. Poor thing.
And was headed further up the wetland. And
They do that. They move around.
yeah, a smart cookie, getting out while the getting's good.
How big was he?
Probably the size of a tennis shoe box.
Oh, okay. That's
So-
a young one then.
Yeah, he wasn't huge, but he wasn't teeny either. So, wow, this is a nice drive.
Oh, there's another, what, red squirrel?
We're red squirrels. They stick those tails up, and look, it looks like we might have maybe a little spring in the road right
Well, we
here.
must have. Why else
Yeah.
would there be water here?
Yeah, we haven't had rain, so that's
No.
not where it came from.
Unless somebody came out here with a bucket of water and dumped it. Huh?
Maybe they were picking wild asparagus and rinsed it off and dumped their pail.
I haven't seen the asparagus up yet, have you?
Yeah, I've been
Oh,
eating
okay.
asparagus for about a week and a
Good for
half.
you.
Yeah, ours are doing really good, but I've been watering them because they started to wilt.
Well, yeah. Asparagus do like some moisture.
Look at that right there, Nancy.
There's a nice
one.
Floppy.
Should we pull over and take a look at that?
Well, we're going to turn around and come back.
Okay.
So we'll do a good. Once we get up here, I said reveal, then we will do a little.
We're headed to the reveal. Dun,
We're
dun,
getting
dun.
close, folks.
We're getting close. And this was a very, very nice drive. State wildlife area.
Yeah.
And a valley drive, which we don't always do valley drives,
No,
do we?
No.
And you would think, Nancy, in Trempealeau County, we've got just as many valleys as we've got ridge tops.
That's right. Kind of works out that way, doesn't it?
I think it does. I think it does.
So we're getting close. So we want everybody that thinks they know what this road is.
Start guessing.
Start guessing and shout out what you think it is. Okay.
Okay, we're listening.
Oh, no. We had someone there that thought it was down by Trempealeau. No.
No, not Trempealeau.
No.
Not Ettrick.
No.
Not Arcadia.
No. And this is not Buffalo County either.
No, because we know that because we're in the, I'm not going to say it.
What, town of Preston?
Town of Preston.
Yes. All right, here we are. So,
And
okay, we can't see it. It's going this way, but we'll get by the stop sign and then you can look at it.
okay, we got to get our token stop sign picture, and Nancy can edit it so we just see the stop sign. And now we are at, Nancy, let's name that road. It's
Elias Road.
now Elias.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's Elias and not Elias?
Well, that's what I thought, but I had interviewed a lady, an elderly lady that had grown up in this coulee behind me, and she pronounced it, to me it sounded almost like she was saying alias.
Oh, Elias.
Yeah.
So there it is.
Yep.
So, if anyone out there watching knows the pronunciation,
Right pronunciation.
because we don't want to offend, please let us know.
We don't want to offend any Norwegians, do we? Holy
Absolutely
cow. No.
not.
Now, the road that we're coming onto is called Flatten Road. And it's interesting. This road, Flatten Road, is paved and it is a dead end.
Oh, Nancy, you're cutting her short. We do not want to end up in the ditch.
No, not a good idea.
Okay, so Flatten Road is paved.
Yes, and why is it paved? Because this was Highway 95 before they changed it.
And now, we want you to pay special attention because Flatten Road actually is a dead end.
Yes.
It is a dead end, and there's the sign. So you want to be sure to make, if you're coming in from Highway 95,
Yes.
you want to make a left-hand turn. Oh, I'm tangled up. Here, we gotta stop a minute. I'm getting choked by the crusher. I'm all tangled.
Not good.
I'm all tangled in the seatbelt.
Not good, not good.
Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm free now.
All right.
Okay, so you want to be sure to make that left-hand turn onto Alias Road.
Yeah, or Elias, I don't know.
But hopefully someone out in the audience will be able to give us the details.
Now this coulee, we just came down where we didn't go by any houses, did we?
No, we did not.
One. This whole coulee used to have several farms.
Oh, fill us in.
Well, it was a coulee that had a lot of farms, and up at the very end there was a farm owned by a man by the name of Alias Olson.
Oh, okay.
And so that's how the road got the name, Alias. And it was bought up by the state.
And why was that, Nancy?
I am not certain, perhaps because it looks like it was probably wet back here.
Too wet to farm?
Could be. I'm not really, I don't have the history on it, but it was, at one time there were all kinds of farms back here.
Well, and you know the thing of it is with farms, if you can't sell a crop, you can't pay for your farm.
You can't get in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know, maybe they were looking for some land and the people back here were willing to sell.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
really know what the story was when it changed hands. But I've got that old plat book of home in 1914 and it was not state land then. So
Okay.
I'm not really certain when the state came in and bought it up. But Alias Olson was at the very end there, and he had a pretty good sized farm. And right above, up coming off the hill to the south of his, or not the south, the east of his land, of his farm, there was a 40-acre farm parcel that was owned by a man by the name of Hans Jacob Olson. Have you ever heard of him?
Hans Jacob, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, quick, before we got to get pictures here of the rock outcropping.
Look at that. This is a good one, you guys. Look at all the layers. Look at all the layers. And you know, we're going to bring everybody up to speed on our geology in an episode of some kind of a program we'll come up with.
Yeah.
And isn't that incredible? Look at those incredible tree roots that grow down into, Nancy, the rock.
Yeah.
And that's what actually causes those outcroppings to shed, is the roots are really just slowly peeling away time.
Big rain and it looks different.
Big rain and it looks different. It sheds, just kind of like a glacier sheds.
Yep.
You know, they call that calving. Glaciers calve. We'll have to call a geologist and find out what they call it when a rock outcropping sheds.
Yes.
Or calves.
Yeah.
Maybe they call it calves.
Yeah.
Never know.
But to circle around to get back to Hans Jacob Olson, have you heard of him?
I have. And why is
Okay.
that ringing a bell?
Because he was the man that kind of pulled Trempealeau County into infamy. He was lynched.
That's
in,
right.
In 1889. Yeah, and it was the hill that we came, the ridge that we came down off of when we came down into the valley here. That was, the road was Brecky Ridge Road, and Hans Jacob Olson lived down off the ridge a little bit. And yeah, in 1889, he was lynched by a bunch of Norwegians.
He kind of had an interesting attitude on life, though, didn't he?
Well, he wasn't popular with his neighbors, let's put it that way. And oh, geez, I don't know how many years ago I did a show on the lynching of Hans Jacob Olson. We might have to refresh that because it was a really interesting story. lynchings in this part of Wisconsin are really rare. Lynchings done by a bunch of angry Norwegians are really rare.
And so when you say it was rare that the Norwegians, because they typically weren't lynchers? I don't even know if that's a word, lynchers. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I guess I've never read anything about Norse history that references lynching.
Because it wasn't normal in this part of Wisconsin. Let's face it.
Oh my goodness.
So we'll have to come back to this. But anyway, Hans Jacob Olsen, his farm was up here kind of between the top of Brecky Ridge and down in the valley where this alias Olsen. And nobody seemed to know if this alias Olsen was actually related to Hans Jacob. A lot of people back then were called Olsen. It was a rare name, so we don't really know. But it was something that gave Trempealeau County a lot of notoriety, shall we say.
Back in the 1800s.
Yes, 1889, November in 1889. So that was one thing this coulee had a reputation for. That was where poor old Hans Jacob met his end.
Well, it would be interesting if we could do an off-road to see if there's any remnants of a farm back in there.
I did go down there with Olin Femright.
Oh.
And Wade Britzius. This was quite a while ago.
Okay.
And also James Berg, who lived up on the top there. And he knew where this site was, where the farm was, and where Hans Jacob got hung on a tree. And all we could see were, a few stones.
Okay.
It wasn't, like I say, it was only 40 acres. I don't think they had very much. A house and a barn. Not too much.
Right.
So, I'll have to dust that off and we'll have to talk about it. It was one of those things that a lot of people find fascinating because you just don't usually think of this being a county where people get so excited they go out and lynch one of their neighbors.
Well, and wasn't it like a double lynching? Because didn't they string him up once? And three times. Oh my gosh. So I would guess that the exodus behind that was maybe he was pleading, or because he was not necessarily a nice neighbor, right?
No, he was not popular in the neighborhood, and
or town.
No, he'd been in trouble. But Mary, this is a big subject, and we'll just have to come back here some other time and really explore it. But I am saying that this valley or coulee had, I guess you could say kind of a negative connotation to what happened here anyway.
Well, and that leads me into another kind of a sidebar question. So do you think he haunts the valley?
It's a possibility.
Kind of like the lavender lily. We got the Jacob Olsen running around in coveralls, or good old
Hans Jacob, yeah.
Trying to find his happy side, maybe his nice side.
Now here is a place where if you come down here, the state has provided a parking space.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to come back here and leave your car and then go out and walk around. But this is a wildlife area, so don't get lost and don't get stuck in the swamp somewhere.
Make sure your phone is charged.
Yep.
And you tell someone where you're going.
And don't drop your phone in the marsh.
And marshes can be kind of tricky because you don't necessarily, they may appear to be bone dry, but you might be actually stepping on something that might be floating, and then,
Oops.
Yep, down you go. Although it's crazy dry. For as dry as it is, Nancy, I wonder if we're going to have morels this year. Oh, it looks like there's like a hiking trail back there, maybe?
I think this is the old road that went up the valley.
Okay.
And went up to the Olsen farm,
Okay.
Alias Olsen.
And it looks like they maybe mow it so that people can have a nice
Yeah.
a nice little walk on a trail. Yeah,
Yeah, this is state land. You know, your tax dollars at work, so come on out and take a hike.
Yep. COVID's not quite over yet, folks, so if you can continue to spend more time outdoors,
That's always good.
you can always walk 6 feet apart. That's an easy one.
Yep.
There we go. Look at that. Oh, that's where we saw all them young aspens.
Yeah, all that. They must have done some cutting here.
Yeah, selective cutting. That's really cool.
Yep. Well, this kind of wraps up our trip down Alias Coulee. And like I say, we're not sure if we're pronouncing it correctly, but
Let us know.
that was the way I heard it pronounced by, there's some blue flowers there. Do you see those? Whee!
Okay, now we gotta. It's hard for me to get this camera to do what I want it to do. Where did they go? They're very fine little flowers.
Yeah, not too far.
There they are. You gotta get the glare off of that screen. Oh, those are pretty.
Ain't they pretty?
Yes, they are. All the wonderful colors of nature. And we hope that you enjoyed our Name That Road.
And like I say, if you want to come out here and take a drive and it's rained hard, don't come out here in your little tiny car. Coffee would be a good idea.
There we go.